As devices go mobile, Wi-Fi is an increasingly popular option for connecting to a network. And as laptops get thinner and thinner, sometimes manufacturers take away the Ethernet port, leaving Wi-Fi as the only option. On my system, I've plugged in a USB Wi-Fi adapter and connected it to the virtual machine I'm using. If you're following along on a physical Linux machine with a Wi-Fi adapter built in, that should work just fine. First, let's take a look at setting up a Wi-Fi connection with the graphical NM Connection Editor tool. I'll open that up here and choose Add to add a new connection. In the drop-down, I'll choose Wi-Fi and I'll click Create. The device that I want to use is my wireless adapter, in this case WLP0S6U1. And for the SSID, I'll type in the name that I want to use. I've already set up a Wi-Fi network called My Network. We'll leave the rest of these alone and choose Wi-Fi security. From the drop-down, I'll choose the security that I have set up. In my case, that's WPA2 Personal, and I'll type in the password. Great, that's all I need to do for now. IPv4 is set to automatic, so I don't need to change anything there. I'll click Save, and I'll click Close. I'll clear the screen to get rid of these warnings, and if I type IP A, I can see here that my wireless adapter now has an IP address on my wireless network. And I can double check that I'm connected by clicking on the network icon here, choosing Wi-Fi, and going to Wi-Fi settings. There we go. I'll close out of here, and I'll open up NM Connection Editor again. I'm going to delete this connection, and then we'll set it up again from the command line. Here at the command line, I'll take a look at what devices I have available with nmcli -d for device. There's my Wi-Fi adapter, and it recognizes that it's a Wi-Fi adapter, but it's disconnected and I don't have a connection. So we'll need to create a connection, but for that we'll need some information about the network. I can see what networks are in range with nmcli d Wi-Fi list. I've got a whole bunch here, but down toward the bottom I see the network I want, called My Network. So I know the network name that I want to connect to. I'll clear the screen, and I'll create a new connection. To do that, I'll type nmcli con for connection, add con-name, which sets the connection name. In this case, I'll use my Wi-Fi. And then if name to specify the interface that I want to connect to. In this case, it's my wireless adapter, WLP0S6U1. And then I'll set the type of the connection to Wi-Fi. And I'll give Network Manager my SSID in single quotes, which is my network. All right, the connection's been created, but we need to let Network Manager know the password. To do that, we could either jump into the interactive editing mode and set two values, or set them right here from the command line. I'll write nmcli con mod to modify the connection, and then my Wi-Fi, the name of the connection that I want to modify. Then I'll use the Wi-Fi-sec object and set the key management, or key MGMT, property to WPA-PSK, WPA pre-shared key. Then I'll use Wi-Fi sec again, but instead set the PSK property to the password for my network, which is secret key, ! That goes in single quotes too, to avoid escaping issues. Great, let's take a look at the connections with nmcli-c. It looks like my Wi-Fi connection has already connected, so let's take a look at the IP address information. And there we go. My adapter has an IP address on the network that I expect it to. Great. If it hadn't come up automatically, I could type nmcli con up my Wi-Fi to kickstart the connection.